Alright guys, 7:50 in the morning. We are loaded on a short load. We got one piece, 225 pounds. It's going 111 miles, Michigan to Michigan. This is just to get the day started. Broker hooked me up with this, and then right after we drop this, we head straight to another pickup. Not sure the destination yet, so I'll update you guys once we got it going, and yeah, I'm gonna holler at you guys later.
Your hustle got to be strong in this industry, as in any other industry.
So I'm sitting in Hubbard, Ohio right now. I'm on my way to York, PA. So just to bring you up to speed, I did check in when I had the first run this morning, which was Charlotte, Michigan to Oxford, Michigan. And then I picked up out of Clinton Township, Michigan, which was 38 miles away. And it's going over to York, PA, 533 miles, I think is what it is. So that's due tomorrow morning. If any of you have been following, this has been kind of a regular run for the most part the past couple months. So I'm thankful to have these runs because, again, I want to be home tomorrow. And doing this run will have me home tomorrow. Now, I did already pre-book a load picking up tomorrow. Philadelphia going to Milton, PA. It's like 155 miles. It's supposed to be driver assist and whatnot, print the paperwork and everything. I bid that and wanted it $355, so I've got that for tomorrow morning. So if I don't get anything else short on the way home tomorrow, that will have been plenty to get me home. I am very happy with the week I had overall. It's a little unfortunate that I got to go home because I'll be honest, and I was talking to another driver yesterday about this, and I don't know what anybody else has seen, but today is Wednesday the 20th, okay? And I have seen a lot of loads today, a lot of loads on the board. And it was I believe it's, due to the fact of what I was talking to my buddy about yesterday, is that basically the holidays are coming. People are trying to get this stuff off their desk, get everything booked, get everything gone and out there and taken care of so that they can take their time off, because a lot of this stuff is going to deliver, in a couple of days or, sometime next week. So I've seen a ton of loads today in the areas that I've been looking, which has been Alabama tomorrow, which has been popping up several, just haven't won any. Pennsylvania for tomorrow, popping up a ton. I was watching Ohio a little bit today. There's been a ton. And this is just not even stuff just on a load board, even the emailers that have come across as far as the amount of loads. Like, I have just seen a lot of loads. So it's unfortunate on that end that I don't get to, try and get some more of that, but don't want to be greedy. I'm extremely happy for how the last 3 weeks have gone, going into the holidays. I couldn't ask for anything more, to be honest. I mean, it's been really good, knock on wood. Let me knock on wood. So, and I'm sitting here looking at the load board right now while I'm talking to you guys. But, because again, I got a driver going to Alabama tomorrow, and I'm trying to get him something in the morning, trying to pre-book something, just to get him out of there. Because it's tough in Alabama, especially the part where he's at. It's going to be a little more difficult. So, just trying to watch for any and everything I can at this point. I'm curious, any of you guys that are out here driving, doing this as well, how have things been for the last 3 weeks? Have you done well, same, less? And how has this week been going for you? And are there any of you guys that are going to be staying on the road during the holidays? To be honest, me personally, if I had the opportunity to be out, I would definitely like to try it. I've never got to try being out during the holidays, and it's going to be scarce. But what the money side of me is like, man, I'd like to be able to be out there and bid some of these while everybody's home for the holidays. If they do pop up near me, man, just try and, you got to ask for good money. So any of you guys that are doing it, man, be sure to ask for money, because there ain't going to be a lot of vans out there to cover these things. So even as an owner-op, talk to your dispatch about this. Say, hey, I want to try and get some extra money on this if we can for the holiday pay. Some people's dispatch, as far as carriers that they're with, they may go ahead and throw it in there regardless because of that. But don't be afraid to ask. And now at the same time, now I say that, and I don't want everybody to think, well, every load you get during the holidays is going to be great. No, because there is the flip side of it. You may be in an area where there are a lot of people still out there, and everybody's still trying to trickle home, depending on when it is and all that good stuff. But it can also be on the flip side cheap. It's just, I personally would like to have that opportunity to be out there and try and nail some of those. So that's just me. I mean, again, guys, I enjoy what I do. I love bidding loads. I love running the loads. I just love the kind of I don't know if you want to call it competition or the strategy of bidding loads, running drivers, things like that. Like, I thoroughly enjoy it. So that's where I'm at with it. Which that leads me to a question or comment it was really a question. It was a question in the last video. He was asking, is it worth working for a good, solid carrier as opposed to running your own authority, running your own motor carrier? And I believe that's what he asked. So, in my opinion, it's hard to give you a definitive answer because it depends on the individual. For me, hell yes, it's well, I shouldn't say, but 100% better for me to be a motor carrier as opposed to staying an owner-op for a solid carrier. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times when things are going shitty that you feel like, man, would I be better off just going ahead and throwing my vans on with a good solid carrier, and that takes a lot of stuff off of my plate and off of my back, and I ain't got to worry about it? Of course those thoughts cross your mind. But me, I would rather do what I'm doing, which is be a motor carrier. And so I guess the answer to that is it's really dependent on the individual, because some people, just like some people get to becoming an owner-op after driving for a fleet owner, and that's even overwhelming to them, let alone start off, jump out there, get your own operating authority and become a motor carrier, and now you're responsible for all kinds of stuff. Like, you're constantly booking loads, you're worried about your van maintenance, you're worried about, just whatever comes along with it. You're responsible for all of it. If you can handle that kind of stuff, you can juggle those kinds of responsibilities, or you at least, maybe you have a wife or husband, whatever your situation is, that you have somebody to help, with the workload, even that may come into play, and be beneficial. But it's really on the individual as far as whether it's a pro or a con to be with a carrier, or, same thing as far as being your own motor carrier. I also wanted to touch on another comment. It was a couple of people made comments in that last video as far as the 460 motor carriers failing each week. Some of them are saying, one of the comments I seen said something about, well, that doesn't mean that they're not going and signing on with another carrier, which is true. But the positive in my mind that comes from that, again, you're assuming that it's a reputable carrier and everything, is that the bids are going to stay solid, and the services provided are going to be quality, as opposed to an individual that came out here ill prepared and didn't really understand what they were getting into, and they're giving poor quality of service. They're bidding super cheap because they don't even know what they should be bidding, things like that. So to me, that's still a positive, even if they sign on with the carrier and that unit is still out here capacity wise, but the motor carrier, the operating authority, they let go to the wayside. And another one was mentioning how, a small percentage of that is expedite freight, as far as the carriers that are, going out, which is true. But the thing is that, again, with volume of freight so low, and like when you had the UAW strikes, there are certain carriers that have certain niches that they cover, and when those things start to become minimal offers or minimal, load opportunities, everybody starts kind of feeding off of the same thing. You know what I mean? As far as like maybe an LTL carrier that usually had a bunch of LTL stuff, it's super slow, and now they are stepping in on the expedite freight, or vice versa. Expedite carriers and expedite units are now dipping into the LTL stuff, and it's just taken. So it's basically, the thing is, like, there's a high number of units out there that are available to take freight. So as long as that stays the case, whether it's in the expedite division, LTL division, flatbed, whatever, it can affect everybody negatively, because there's just, again, there's so many mouths to feed, and if there's not enough food at the table, obviously there's going to be a problem. I mean, how about that, me? My fat ass making an analogy to some food, man. What the hell? Any of you guys have anything to say about any of that? I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to see your comments. I'd love to see what anybody's got to say, think about all this. Again, overall, it's just a thing that has to happen to help equal things out, to help put a little bit more balance to everything. Again, unfortunately, just this economy and the ways everything has gone the last 3 years has just really thrown a lot of stuff, into a frenzy as far as, trying to make money at this, because, again, it ain't just expedite. Everybody's feeling the pain. And you still got people out there to be like, man, I'm out here and I'm just doing all right, blah, blah, blah. Hey, if they are, it is what it is, man. Like, I ain't hating on nobody, but, again, I see more often than not people failing and people just struggling, or people, just staying afloat. Me being one of them, again, like at certain points, just trying to stay afloat, throughout all the stuff that's happened this year. Which brings me to my last point. Actually, let me say this first. Any of you guys that have spent money on mentorships or courses or webinars, any of those things, I would love to hear in the comments or in the description. I have an email. If some of you want to talk without it being out in the open, my email is in the description of the video, which is EverythingApax@gmail.com. I would really like to hear the good and the bad of this. If people have success stories, I'd like to hear it. If people have horror stories, I want to hear those, because I've said it before, I'm not a big fan of these guys that are selling these mentorships or courses for an extreme amount of money. In my mind, it's an extreme amount of money that they're asking for what is being given out there. Because, maybe I'm not understanding what all they actually offer, but I just don't see the value in it. And with that being said, any of you that were part of these webinars, especially the most current one with the union guys, I'm sure you guys got fed a lot of fluff and a lot of bullshit. If you need to get your business right, if you really want to get an understanding of what this industry is like, the expedite stuff, the OTR van freight, hit me up and I will help straighten you out. As I said, for free. I've never charged anybody for anything up to this point, but if you have questions, and just hit me up. So with that, I'm going to end this video and I will holler at you guys later, man.
Your hustle got to be strong in this industry, as in any other industry.